The laws of thermodynamics tells us that chemical stability is found in chaos. But look at yourself. Don't all of your organ systems around your body seem to be working in perfect harmony? You're made up of dead molecules, but for some reason, those dead molecules are arranged in such a way that you can see my face by receiving all the wavelengths of light that are being shot out of your screen and into your eyes. You can breathe, you can eat, you can think, and maybe most importantly of all, you, with the help of another human being of the opposite sex, are capable of creating another member of our species. That doesn't seem very chaotic to me. That sounds like the most orderly arrangement of atoms I could possibly imagine. So how did you get to be this way if the laws of thermodynamics seem so insistent that you are impossible? You are impossible. Science offers the theory of natural selection to explain how our simpler bacterial ancestors replicated enough times with enough mistakes so that life became more and more complex. But where did those bacteria come from? After all, matter that could just make copies of itself, that sounds orderly to me. If you just randomly swirled around some atoms that were present in the Earth 4,000 million years ago, surely it wouldn't make a self-replicating molecule that would later infest the whole planet with various forms of complex life. Or would it? At the primordial stage in the Earth's history, volcanoes had been erupting and introducing many substances into the atmosphere, such that oceans of water covered much of the surface. Underneath the surface was rising magma that forced adjoining tectonic plates apart, exposing rocks underneath the crust to seawater at the sea floor. The hydrated rocks then plunge beneath the colliding tectonic plates and are superheated in the mantle, where seawater will be released and drive the convection currents of the magma, so the cycle repeats. Now, the reaction between exposed rocks and seawater produces hydrogen and warm alkaline fluids. At the time, ocean waters were acidic. As the alkaline fluids cooled down, they interact with acidic water to create hydrothermal vents that naturally form tiny porous compartments of space. These compartments in deep-sea vents are where life was made. This is because they were infused with iron-sulfur materials so that they could contain all of the random dead chemicals that were just floating around and then catalyze the most important reactions that have ever taken place on Earth. I'll outline these now. Organic compounds are essential if any self-replicating molecule is to be made. Surprisingly, organic molecules can be produced simply by reacting hydrogen and carbon dioxide with enough energy. All three of these ingredients are available in our hydrothermal compartments, interestingly enough. Huge amounts of carbon dioxide are dissolved in the ocean. Hydrogen has just been produced from the hydration of exposed rocks at the seabed, and energy is supplied by high-energy free radicals present in the vents. All of those combine to form molecules that look a bit like this. Acetyl thioesters. These can then further react with carbon dioxide to form organic molecules like pyruvate. Now that organic compounds exist on the planet, there is hope for life. Pyruvate is a especially useful one because it allows us to enter into the Krebs cycle, a reaction pathway of ultimate significance in biochemistry. The Krebs cycle will produce hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and an energy storage molecule like ATP from pyruvate, and then this can be reversed to reform more organic compounds. This cycle kept spinning in hydrothermal vents until inevitable side reactions produced polymers like RNA. Now, with a little help from ideas about quantum coherence and decoherence, nucleotides in RNA could have rearranged until they were in perfect order to produce a ribozyme, which has the ability to self-replicate. Wow. We just made an organic self-replicating molecule out of raw materials that were available on our planet 4,000 million years ago, despite what we know about thermodynamics. Now we can hand the story over to Charles Darwin, who will tell us that the best replicators would be naturally selected for the next few billion years until it finally got to you. Watching this video, with the most amazing computer locked away in your skull, wondering how you got here, despite watching this video, because it still doesn't really make sense.